Welcome to a bonus episode of Foodytime. I'm Jay Fettigan, and several years ago I had the pleasure of recording poet Charles Coe at an event called the Spatula Monologues. He told a tale of having to make the impossible decision between the talented and beautiful actress Angela Bassett and garlic. Enjoy.
The doorbell rang. As I walked to answer it, my hand was damp with sweat. I wiped my palm on my shirt, slowly twisted the knob, and opened the door to see Angela Bassett standing on my front porch. "Hi," she said, "you must be Charles." She flashed a 200-watt smile. "Aren't you going to invite me in?" she asked. Maybe I should stop here to explain. Some months ago, I had written Ms. Bassett a letter saying how much I admire her work, the way she always portrays strong women. So I mailed it, not really expecting a response, or at least nothing more than a photo with a fake signature and a little thank you note penned by the publicist. That's why I was so surprised a few weeks later when my telephone rang and Angela was on the other end. I thought at first, of course, it was friends playing a practical joke, but I hadn't told any of them about the letter. Ms. Bassett happened to be in Boston doing some work with a charitable foundation, had wrapped up for the day, and was now relaxing in her suite at the Four Seasons. And she wondered, would I by any chance be free for dinner this evening? My mind was racing. My first thought was, how much is it going to cost to take Angela Bassett out to dinner? Who cares how much it costs? I took a deep breath. "Ms. Bassett, it would be my great pleasure and honor to take you out to dinner." I wouldn't want to impose, but I was thinking, what if I just came over to your place? I could have my driver pick up a little something on the way over. "Oh, no, I say, let me make dinner. I love to cook." So to make a long story a little shorter, that's how Angela Bassett wound up on my doorstep, asking if I was going to let her in. I let her in. And how can I describe the scent that trailed behind her as she crossed my threshold? Just imagine Christmas morning when you were 12 and you came down the stairs to see a brand new red bicycle with a big blue ribbon tied around it sitting under the tree. And you remember that you and your dad were going to eat popcorn and watch a basketball game together on TV later that afternoon. That's how she smelled. She came in and sat down, and we laughed a lot. It was one of those conversations where nobody has to figure out what to say next. It was like a dance when you feel like you're floating. You're not taking steps, the steps are taking you. Suddenly she got quiet and her expression changed. She patted the sofa. "Why are you sitting all the way over there?" she asked. "I don't bite." I tried to think of something witty and urbane to say, but my mind was blank. I make my mind up about people pretty fast, and I think I like you a lot. Do you like me too? At this point, the blood was pounding in my head like a Ginger Baker drum solo. "Ms. Bassett." "Angela," she said. "Call me Angela." "Angela, I like you a lot, and I'm just noticing that you have the most incredible eyes. One moment they are brown, the next they're black, now they look indigo. What color are they?" "It's hard to tell from a distance," she said. "You have to get closer to tell for sure." She put her hand behind my head to pull me near, and then when our eyes and lips were inches apart, she suddenly stopped and pulled back. Her brow furrowed, her eyes became slits. She sniffed the air. "What's that smell?" "What smell?" I asked, momentarily confused. "Oh, you mean the fish? That's our supper." "Is that garlic?" she said. "I'm sorry, but I detest garlic. The very smell of it makes me ill." I said, "Would you excuse me for a moment?" I got up from the sofa and left the room and returned a minute later holding her jacket. Ms. Bassett, I don't think this is going to work out. Everyone, when imagining the dream mate, has deal breakers, some attitude or quality that would automatically eliminate a given individual from consideration. Maybe you could never consider being with someone from an opposing political party or who chews noisily with an open mouth. For every person, that deal breaker is different. Mine's garlic. I could never share my table, my bed, my life with a woman who said, "I'm sorry, but I detest garlic." But late that night, my thoughts returned to Angela and how much we might have shared had our story taken a different turn. I imagined us in some little village on the Mediterranean, in a room with diaphanous white curtains dancing in the breeze, Angela lounging on the sofa, sipping the local wine and spreading mashed roasted garlic on bread still warm from the innkeeper's oven. I let out a long sigh. "Angela," I say, "we've had 40-clove chicken in half the Chinatowns in America. We've gone to pesto parties in Genoa and crushed garlic with mortar and pestle to the rhythm of mandolin music. We've stood in a torchlit bayou, huddled around an iron pot full of bubbling gumbo, watched clouds of garlic-scented steam climb into the night sky like spirits reaching for heaven. We've nibbled our way from one end to the other of a dozen different garlic festivals, and I guess I'm just starting to wonder, has it been too much? Have I gone too far? Am I starting to bore you, to drive you away? Can there be such a thing in the end as too much garlic?" Angela gazes at me for a long moment. Then she unbuttons her blouse. "Too much garlic," she murmurs. "Now, that's an interesting question. Why don't you slide on over here and we'll talk about it?" Thank you.
Well, Charles certainly knows how to tell a funny and entertaining story. Stay tuned for a new episode coming with Charles Coe on Foodytime. I'm Jay Fettigan. We'll see you next time on Foodytime.